Welcome to Fieldsports Britain. Coming up, we're hunting boar and deer in Germany. We're learning about the pheasants of the high Himalaya via Here, a charity clay pigeon shoot in Hampshire. I'm trying to turn my top pigeon dog into a top deer dog with the help of a top dog trainer. First, our regular look at shooting domestic objects with guns. It's Test Splat Special. It's our weekly look at the demise of household and other objects thanks to the use of ballistics. This week we start with a bang and a Firebird target. These deliver a satisfying burst of flames and smoke and are great fun for all the family. Here we are setting one off with our 177 air rifle pellet. There she goes with plenty of flair. Next up, a very leaky kettle intercepted for the Test Splat Special before it was whisked off to the tip. We are not expecting an explosion, but what damage does a 243 soft point bullet do to it at 120 yards? The bullet strike is clean and goes straight through it, like a knife through butter. But can our rifle shooter blow the lid off? And if so, how far will it travel? Will it be A, 6 metres 75 centimetres, B, 5 metres 75 centimetres, or C, 4 metres 75 centimetres? The shot knocks the kettle and the lid flying. It takes a couple of minutes to find all the metalwork, but it is discovered in the branches of a nearby tree. We bring out the tape measure and, surprise, surprise, it's the biggest one again. We record a reading of 6 metres 75 centimetres. Nothing proved, nothing gained, it's just for fun. Next week we have lots of ammunition from top cartridge company Norma to play with. Well, we've got lots of other test splats to show you. Just click on the screen that's appearing up there behind me. Now they've got Boar, they're on tour. They are Team Wild's TV.
Tradition plays an important role when hunting on the continent, especially in Germany. And we're getting the full works this evening as we prepare to go after roebuck and wild boar. The ground we've been invited to hunt is an hour and a half northeast of Berlin, and we're guests of Outfox clothing, a brand being launched in the UK later this year with high-tech scent-reducing technology. First things first, and we have to ensure all our paperwork is in order, and we know what we can and can't shoot.
Roebucks and 1-year-old female, yeah, black wild boars, up to 50 kilogram.
Inside this impressive manor house, we meet the estate owner, Erimar van der Osten, for drinks and to hear a little more about the history of the Blumberg Forest. We're quite an international group of hunters. Of course, I'm representing the UK with sporting journalist and Team Wild colleague Simon Barr, but the guys from Outfox are from all over Europe.
We hunt in a team. We win as a team and we lose if we don't succeed, but we all are one team, and this is a special atmosphere we have here, and I wish all of us a lot of success and that you don't forget this weekend. Cheers.
We now split up and head off to our stands. There are over 100 in this woodland. It's a muggy evening and the mosquitoes are on the hunt too. The mosquitoes are the size of horses here. I think we're going to get eaten alive, but hopefully this Outfox Ego Tarn layer will take away my smell so I don't smell quite so tasty. For this type of hunting, I brought along a rifle setup that I believe will work well in this environment. So this is my Ruger Gunsight Scout. It's in 308 caliber and I'm shooting 185 grain Lapua Mega ammunition. It's a bit heavy for 308, but it's a fantastic round. On top of it I've got Zeiss 2-8 by 42 Duralite, which is their one of their entry level scopes. Now we're going to be shooting pretty close up here, up close and personal. And this Gunsight Scout has a 16.5 inch barrel, laminate stock, and a nice recoil pad, so those 185 grain Lapua aren't going to cause me too many problems. Phenomenal rifle, very pointable, perfect for roebuck on the move. Our high seat is not actually that high, and the close cover means the animals will have to be even closer for me to get a clear shot. And we're going to have to keep very still and very quiet. It's a really flat, calm evening. There's almost no wind at all, so we're going to have to be very, very quiet. The trees in front of us aren't much, maybe 20-25 yards away, so distance isn't going to be an issue, but movement is. Any roebuck or boar coming through here, we'll be able to see the slightest of movements. We've got to be ever so careful. The evening's very warm and muggy, so we should see some movement, but we've got about 3 hours to wait, so fingers crossed. The Outfox clothing I'm wearing this evening has military heritage, and their hunting suits are designed to stop the animals scenting you, even if you're approaching with the wind.
It's the first time in the history of hunting that the hunters don't take care about the wind. Because again, the wind push your odors, but this odors is kept in these filters. So for all sort of people, hunters or also cameramen who would like to make some good pictures, when the wind is turning, that's not an enemy anymore. Nowadays with Outfox you can really go and hunt in every kind of condition. And this is really a new era of hunting.
We're losing the light fast, but we finally get some movement. However, it's a mature doe. I doff my cap and she walks on. When we get back to the courtyard, some of the hunters have had better luck than me. Simon has shot a buck and a wild boar. However, his boar ran on. But Simon is confident that it was hit hard, and the decision is made to go and look for it with Anton the Ubertekel. 100 yards from the high seat, Simon shows Kai and Anton the spot where the boar was hit. There's no blood, but Anton is on the case.
Anton, so ist brav mein Hund, so verwund. So ist brav mein Hund. So
Kai encourages the little hound and we're taken through thick cover. We come to a hollow where the boar probably rested up during the day, and there's a flash of disappointment the trail might have gone cold.
From a wild boar.
You think this is a death bed?
No, it's but there's no blood, nothing inside.
But Anton is on it again.
So, it's dead. We got it.
Hey!
Weit mein Zeit. So ist brav, Anton. Gib schön laut. Ja, so ist brav, mein Hund.
What a good dog.
Perfect.
What a
Perfect,
good dog.
Anton.
What a good
Simon, my friend.
Worried for a moment.
Anton, du bist die Rakete, hä? Mein Hund. Bist du die Rakete? Kein Schweiß, nix.
The shot was fine.
Ja, perfect. In the 10.
Weit mein Zeit. Dank.
Du musst dich auf deinen Hund verlassen, ne, Stefan? Das ist immer wieder das Thema.
Der Hund hat recht.
Der Hund hat immer recht.
Der Hund hat recht.
You have to trust or to believe. You have to believe in your dog, you know.
Fantastic dog.
Anton. Ja, was ist das? Hä?
This is
Anton.
Quite a good animal. I'm quite
Ja, so Überläufer. But you see, it made more than 200 yards, mehr als 200 Meter. Oder wie viel? Was meinst du?
Nee, 100.
100 Meter, 100 yards.
with no blood.
No blood.
No.
Why was it important, Kai, to come out this evening
Uh,
and not wait till the morning?
Because because Simon said that he is 100% sure that he hit the wild boar perfectly with a perfect shot, and we like to protect the meat, because after 1 hour it's damaged, and because this hunter is a very experienced hunter, I believed in him, that he said, Kai, you can believe me, it's a perfect shot, and that gave me the trust to do it. But normally it's dangerous to do it in the night, because a wild boar can attack you and your dog and so on. And if it would be a huge tusker, I never would have done it, but
Ja, Mike.
a piglet or hogget,
Ich bin unten an der Pappe in Danilo.
it's okay. And you see, we have no hole on the other side. It looks so, because this wild boar didn't lose any blood on the opposite side. Oh yeah, here is blood, but we didn't find it. I don't know why. And maybe it closed the hole where the bullet disappeared from the body, and
it looks like there's no blood coming. It's just brushing on.
yeah, you see it here how high it has been, and we had no blood control, but you see the dog.
I was able to watch the animal for maybe 5 minutes before I pulled the trigger, so I was very, very confident. Firstly, that it was male. Secondly, that I was very stable. and the shot was good. Maybe 150 grain bullets might have something to do with the fact that there hasn't been a big exit wound and lots of blood for a trail. Maybe I should have been using slightly larger calibre, but 308's killed it, but it hasn't given us the big blood trail that. But it goes to show that you should have a good dog to follow these things up. And the dog was straight onto it. There was no question. It was it went straight to a bed where it had been sleeping, and then it came straight to where it had finally died, which was probably a zigzag 100 yards away from where I shot it, but through quite thick cover. Very good result. Kai, how heavy do you think it is? Maybe 50, 60 kilos?
No.
Less?
Approximately 50, huh?
50 kilos, okay.
Stefan, was meinst du?
So, but a brilliant animal.
No, less than 50, less than 50. 45.
45. Let's have a bet. Should we have a bet?
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm saying 49 kilos.
Okay, then we have won it. We say less. If you take out the fillets, Stefan, we win this bet.
We get the boar back to the larder and the all-important weigh-in. Simon's guesstimate was pretty good. The boar is actually over 50 kilos.
55.
It's a great start to our European hunting trip.
You win.
If you want to know more about the Walgett-Bloomberg estate, visit walgett-bloomberg.com. And if you want to know more about Outfox clothing, go to www.outfox-wear.com.
Well, that was very good. We have, of course, got boar from all over Europe, including Britain, and you can click on the boar that's emerging from that little bit of woodland behind me and see some of that. Now it's David on the Fieldsports Channel News Stump.
This is Fieldsports Britain News. Charlie has been on a proper television programme devoted to people who love Charlie. Charlie Fox, that is. For the last 2 weeks, Channel 4's major series, Urban Foxes Live, has been helping townspeople come to terms with their new foxy neighbours. Last night, Charlie went on the programme to defend fox shooting and fox hunting. It was always going to be a tough crowd, but the boy done good.
I'm not saying they're going to regularly fall victim to them, but this is what happens if you feed foxes. I did expect to be torn apart by angry fox lovers on this programme, but that's when you feed foxes.
Hang on, we're not angry fox lovers. I think we're giving a pretty balanced view of the science and the evidence surrounding foxes. That's the aim of this programme.
The UK has one of the lowest firearms accident records in the world. The US has one of the highest. Here is a reminder from the USA of why we want to keep it that way. This man's son was shot dead after being mistaken for a deer by a fellow shooter. He still can't understand how it could happen.
You look out for one another. I mean, we're brothers. You just don't go start shooting. And it's just mind-boggling to think that somebody would take that shot.
The Mail on Sunday reports that the RSPCA is bringing Hunting Act charges against members of the Heathrop Hunt. The Hunt's kennels in Chipping Norton are in David Cameron's constituency, giving rise to the widespread belief that the charges are politically motivated to embarrass the Prime Minister. The Countryside Alliance calls the RSPCA's decision to bring such a huge prosecution a blatant political attack. Like 99% of prosecutions against hunts, the Countryside Alliance expects this one to fail. Now, nothing spoils the view of the great British countryside than a van full of aunties trying to catch up with a hunt.
People are so arrogant.
This cyclist is minding his own business, making his way down a country lane. His gentle pedalling gets the hunt monitors behind him a little hot under the collar. Finally, one of them loses her cool and decides that the best course of action is to attack the man, kicking and punching him. And finally, a farmer from Durham has received death threats after he killed a giant rat on his farm. The chances are the animal Brian Watson hit with a bit of wood was a nutria, similar to the ones we went chasing, also with a bit of wood, in Louisiana at the beginning of the year. Please click on the rat if you want to see more. Of course, the police are not taking this matter any further. You are now up to date with Fieldsports Britain News. Stalking the stories, fishing for facts.
Thank you, David. Now, my dog Muffin, the Fieldsports Channel Cocker Spaniel, is of course superb in every respect, but I want to make her superber. I took her to a top dog expert. So we all know that Muffin is the living embodiment of the perfect gun dog, or maybe that's just my view. I drop in on top gundog trainer Charlie Thorburn of Mordor Gundogs, and I want some advice.
I have, as you know, this fabulous, all-round, perfect apple of my eye Cocker Spaniel, and she can go up to, but not including, killing a fox, standing at a peg on a shoot day, beating, but can I turn her into a deer dog?
Quick answer is absolutely.
That's what I want to hear.
The advice is always start off with a gun dog, get the behaviour, get the discipline, get the dog beating or rough shooting or picking up or peg work, whatever it is you're going to do. Teach them not to chase everything, teach them all about how to behave, and then once you know you can control them and you've got that little bit of control and that bond between them, you then can start to give them a bit of a free rein. And that's anything from training them to letting them a little bit looser on deer than you might do on a dog in a beating line, to allowing them on the sofa that you spent 2 years training them not to go on the sofa. Teach them don't do it, don't even ask to do it, and then one day I may decide, because I'm the boss, to allow you to do it.
Now, one thing she does with me with deer is lift her nose in the air when she smells them, and that's a really good indicator for me that there's a deer up ahead. What else should I be asking her to do as a deer dog?
You don't ever want to use a deer dog. You want to have a nice clean kill and there be no problems at all, but we're not all perfect. So we're looking for a deer dog to track a wounded deer. So like teaching a young dog to track a wounded pheasant, we want to teach them to follow the scent of a wounded deer and find where the deer is. So a lot of it's about experience and just getting them out there and getting them onto every deer you shoot, whether it's been clean killed or not. Get them after it, show them what you want them to do, allow them that free run to follow the scent, work the scent until they get to the carcass.
So she's a kind of in emergency break glass use dog, that sort of thing.
Exactly. But in the training process, you want to have her with you every time you go stalking, every time you shoot something. Get her out there, show her the wounded beast, get her interested in it, start dragging it a little bit further, bring the dog out, get her to follow the drag scent, and very quickly a clever little gun dog will become a clever little deer dog as well.
Now, you're a super gun dog trainer with a string of plaudits to your name. Shouldn't you be advising me to buy a new Bavarian mountain hound or Hanoverian or something like that, a specific deer dog?
I'm in the lucky position. I've got a large kennel. I've got Labradors for retrieving. I've got Spaniels for rough shooting and beating. Although the Spaniels will come picking up, and as will the Labradors go beating. We can have pointers for going out on our few days a year on the grouse. But realistically, most people's dogs they're a 1 or 2 dog family. They're a family pet primarily, as well as a working dog. So they have to become a jack of all trades, whether that's sitting on the sofa with the kids, or out on a pheasant shoot, sitting in a duck hide, or out on deer. So I would say that you're better off having if you're doing game shooting as well, you're better off having a gun dog and turning it into a deer dog than trying to turn a deer dog into a gun dog, because that will be a harder job.
For more about Charlie and Mordor Gundogs, visit www.mordorgundogs.com.
Now you can hear the bangs, but no pheasants are falling. Well, if you want the pheasants, they're in the Himalayas.
It's that charity clay pigeon shoot time of year. We are at the Compton estate in the heart of Hampshire, and the cream of the county have come here to prove their mettle and raise a few quid for the World Pheasant Association. Just a second. A wildlife charity devoted to saving not shooting pheasants, and everyone here is a dyed-in-the-tweed pheasant shooter? How does that work?
Game Conservancy, again, shows that you can be interested in shooting pheasants and partridges in this country, but do the most amazing work, research into what it is that they need in the wild, and improve the habitats for them in the wild. So the two do quite often march in step.
Can you see a time when the RSPB were less mistrustful of shooting?
They're treading a careful course. They have 1 million subscriber members, majority of whom live in big cities. Shooting and the value that shooting can have for creating and improving habitats is just out of their sight and not in their experience.
So it's up to us shooters to sell shooting to the wider public.
I think the RSPB will continue to have to keep a careful eye on a large majority of their members for whom shooting sounds like killing and we shouldn't be doing it.
When it comes to raising money, it's all hands on deck. Laura Owens is a WPA scientist who is helping out at the fundraiser today. She explains what these pheasants are all about.
You see only one type of bird, and that's largely the ringneck pheasant. Okay, different subspecies, but that tends to be. But when you go into Nepal, you'll see them in, a range of different species. So you've got I think in the Himalayas, you've got sort of a very diverse mix of birds. You've got the Himalayan monal, you've got all sorts, cheer pheasant as well, range of different behaviours, at different types of sort of altitude, and yeah, they do all sorts of things. But I think it's the colour, the behaviour, the way they interact. It's
Do they fly well? Because that's what I want to know.
Well, I don't know how I should answer that, because if I say yes, then there's any possibility that they could be brought back in. But yes, I think it depends on what species. A lot of them are ground-dwelling birds, and then roost as well in the trees and fly. But different ranges as well.
Okay,
depends on the bird.
Obviously, lots of possibilities of driving them off the top of Mount Everest. That would be very interesting.
So what of the clay shooting? Well, I am in a team with wildlife filmmaker Simon Willock, son of Shooting Times columnist Colin Willock. There is editor of Country Life Mark Hedges and the field editor Jonathan Young. By the end, we agreed that it is all about taking part, not winning. The lads from Bright Seeds win the overall title, but we do walk away with a bottle of whisky each for winning the flush. Keith Howman is the day's organiser, and he is especially looking forward to the auction, which is his main fundraiser.
Can I ask you what you know about Yasum Gumba? Not much. Well, Yasum Gumba, I'm going to actually auction a bottle of Yasum Gumba beverage today, and it could be described as Nepal's answer to Viagra. And a very little known serious fact is that the Maoists largely funded their battle with the monarchy out of getting Yasum Gumba collected and sold directly to the Chinese. And that is absolute fact. If you don't believe me, look it up on Google, and Google never gets anything wrong.
So how well does the bottle of Viagra sell? By the end of the day, and thanks to the generosity of shooters and sponsors including Bright Seeds and Robjents of Stockbridge, the World Pheasant Association can add £13,000 to its bank account. It has been, well, worthwhile.
Now, if you want to see birds being shot, click here on our bird shooting playlist. It's time for YouTube Roundup.
It's Hunting YouTube, showing the best hunting, shooting and fishing videos that YouTube has to offer this week. First up, everyone wants a cast iron method of calling foxes. Well, here's one in stainless steel. Rob Crampton from bestfoxcall.co.uk tells James Marchington how he uses his new stainless steel fox whistle to call in foxes to the lamp. Now on to the real deal, and this one is from Down Under. See how Australians do it, upside down. Tricky Bricky 64 has put up this film of one of the 13 foxes he shot on a boys' weekend. At this time of year, not a week nor hardly a day goes by when Yorkshire Roe Stalking doesn't put up a new film of roebuck stalking. In this one, Pylon Buck, the deer gives a perfect reaction to a heart-lung shot. Ever thought that the Brittany Spaniel was the Britney Spears of the hunt point retrieve world? Decorative but a bit useless? Well, not a bit of it. The Rathcormac Gun Club has them out after pheasant and woodcock in County Cork in this film. Also from last season, Hunter Tom 365 offers a day's shooting in Ireland over Springer Spaniels. As it's Ireland, always been the same for us English, you don't know what to expect. They get a fox. Good on you lads. Air gunners will like Country Pursuit TV's review of the good-looking Himalayan AR-20 carried out at Lee Valley Airgun Club. Listen out for pronunciation of the word Himalayan. Here it is.
In Himalayan AR-20.
Lovely. Top Northern Irish air gunner Hunter's Vermin has night vision, so look out the rats in this farmyard. He has the Night Sight NS200 attached to a BSA Super 10, a deadly combination. And finally, The Field magazine commissioned a photo shoot for a side saddle feature in its June 2012 issue. Here are 3 side saddle lady fox hunters led by Emma Brown demonstrating flawless technique over Leicestershire grassland. You can click on any of these films to watch them. If you have a YouTube film you would like us to pop into the weekly top 8, send it in via YouTube or email me the link charlie@fieldsportschannel.tv.
Well, we are back next week, and if you are watching this on YouTube, you can click on the speech bubble that appeared beside me here to subscribe to all our output, or you can click on the speech bubble just there and subscribe just to Fieldsports Britain, or go to our website fieldsportschannel.tv, scroll down to the bottom put your email address into the constant contact form, or click to like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter, same place, and we will send you news of our programme every week. This has been Fieldsports Britain.